It's a Ryan-less show. We're no Ryan, but fear not, the producer in training who hasn't trained. She is here with us talking about
doing my best.
Swimsuits, apparently. And we're going to talk about Joe Biden and his surprise stage 4 terminal cancer. Surprise. Because that just comes up on you when you're the president. The CIA. We're going to talk about the CIA. We're going to talk about Epstein, because this is come to the light, because a bunch of people said Epstein didn't kill himself and then got cushy jobs at the FBI and have decided that now he did in fact kill himself. They saw the files. So if you're the kind of person who thinks, yeah, that seemed a little suspicious, fear not. Once you get a job with the FBI, you now think it's an open and shut case. That's curious. I think that's curious. Also, James O'Keefe has a new video out where they entered, speaking of Epstein's temple, which is definitely going to be fucking wild looking, if I were to imagine. The family of Ashley Babbitt is getting a settlement from when she was murdered by the Capitol Police. And yeah, we'll see where else we go from there. But I don't know if this is a thing. So this isn't a problem for guys. Swimsuits are shorts and they have mesh in them. And if you don't want to get those, you just get shorts.
Yeah.
There's no difficulties finding swimsuits when you're a guy.
Okay, well, there's difficulty finding swimsuits. I've looked through 300,000 of them now, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not out here on vacation trying to show everything. Like, I'm a mom. I'm there to play in the water and pretend I'm a mermaid, not show my ass, and my tits. Like, I'm just...
But we live in a OnlyFans society where men, like people shell out tens of thousands of dollars to look at girls in bikinis.
Yeah. Some of us don't want that, though. Some of us just want a bikini, not a bikini, a swimsuit that we can go in the water and play. Like, I don't want to be popping a tit out when I'm in the water. I just want to go play.
Well, and to be honest, if you were some OnlyFans girl, I would not be participating in this relationship.
I swear to God.
Dude, so,
you don't know that?
Yeah, I do. I 100% know that. 100%.
What if I was raking in the money?
I don't care. I don't need you for money. That's not what I'm after. Yeah, I don't know why that is the way it is, but I don't design swimsuits. I suspect that's just because the society and culture we live in now.
I'm like pretty close to getting one of those wetsuit things that has like the long...
full-blown wetsuit?
The long sleeves. You'll just see me out there with my snorkel and my goggles and my wetsuit.
Full-blown wetsuit with the whole gear. The fucking oxygen tanks and the whole thing.
Tell everyone that you made fun of me last year for buying a snorkeling kit so I could go underwater. And guess who made friends with a fish? Not you.
She did not make friends with a fish.
Yes, I did. I showed it to you multiple times.
It just swam in the ocean near you.
Yeah, it wouldn't leave. It was.
I don't think it could leave. There were waves.
It was our friend.
There were big waves dragging it back towards you.
You.
I don't think he was hanging out with you because you had a snorkel. If I were to guess,
he was because he thought I was cool because I was the only one there with a snorkel.
First of all, that is absolutely not true. You were not the only person with a snorkel at the beach.
Yes, I was.
Most of them were children who were like 8 years old.
No,
there
were
snorkeling.
No 8-year-olds snorkeling in the water.
There were no adults snorkeling in the water either.
There was.
Not a single adult.
One.
You don't count. I don't think you count. I think the second you put a snorkel on, you cease to count as an adult.
I don't know. Just saying. Anybody out there listening that could make like a cool, I'm not like a pink hoity-toity.
You just want a black...
I just want a nice black swimsuit, okay? Just
that doesn't have everything popping out.
Yeah, I just want to be able to wave jump and go under and pick up shells without my whole ass out and my tits out. That's all I'm asking. I just want a nice black swimsuit that allows me to go on vacation and walk the beach without everyone getting a free show. That's it.
Yeah. On the off chance anyone watching has a swimsuit company, you can direct message us on Rumble. I don't know if that's true. You might not be able to just chat it if you want to do that. Well, this is interesting. Normally, I do the show with Ryan, who also has not heard the news. So I don't know how much you have heard.
I haven't heard any of the news. Actually, that's not true. I saw everyone was freaking out about something with Joe Biden, but I'm assuming it's cancer because I'm pretty sure you said that.
That is correct. It was he was recently diagnosed with an extremely severe prostate cancer. I'm just gonna.
That's the worst kind, man.
Well, that's what I said. That seems to be like, for whatever reason, that seems to be like the most fatal kind. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems like everybody who has prostate cancer always dies. What article should we look at here?
How old is he?
Oh God, he's in his 80s, right? 82, 83.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not young. Not that makes it less, sad,
serious
obviously, but
stuff, yeah.
But... if anything, it makes it more serious because at 82, you're probably way less likely to beat it. NPR, yeah, they definitely wanted to stay away from this as possible. They put their headline as "How treatable is prostate cancer?" with a picture of Joe Biden. New York Times says what a prostate cancer diagnosis like Biden's means for patients, but apparently they're not talking about it in the terms of Biden. Let's see what NBC News got. Joe Biden cancer diagnosis and California fertility center bombing suspect in the same headline, apparently. You can make separate articles, NBC. You don't have to cram all the news into one article. That's wild. That's like the first time I've ever seen that. Plus and then the subheadline, plus the Republican-led House Budget Committee's vote to advance a massive bill. What is this article? It's just like a hodgepodge of news. Why is nobody just reporting on the Biden thing? Let's see what USA Today says. USA Today. Need to be honest. Vance questioned Biden health as president after cancer diagnosis. Well, this is wild. All these articles, like the headlines, are completely missing the point. Biden's cancer diagnosis leaves Democrats with questions. Okay. Let's just get to CNN. Oh my God, there's no way CNN has the best article out of all these people. President Biden has metastatic prostate cancer. Here's what you should know. Oh, great, is that freaking Gupta. President Joe Biden's diagnosis for metastatic prostate cancer has understandably raised concerns and questions. How long has he had cancer, and how will he be treated? What is the prognosis? Apparently, this article is written by a urologist. As a urologist, I regularly diagnose prostate cancer in my patients, and each time I share the diagnosis with them and their family, it's never easy. Over time, I've learned the importance of keeping conversations simple and straightforward, avoiding sugarcoating, and instead using data, statistics, and personal experience. As his public announcement draws attention to this type of cancer, it's a reminder to regularly check your own health. Yeah, and this is what's interesting. Like, you would think the President of the United States gets regularly screened more than the average person. Like, they don't ship you to like a Well Now center. You would think a very severe form of cancer would have been discovered at some point, but apparently it's not. The former president's diagnosis began after he experienced increasing urinary symptoms, his office said, and a prostate nodule was discovered. The detection of a prostate nodule likely happened during a digital rectal examination. Now I'm getting ads for Range Rover. No, thank you. A doctor gently inserts a finger. Oh, they don't need to get into the specifics of this in the article. That seems unnecessary, CNN. Understanding metastatic prostate cancer. Metastatic means the cancer cells have spread beyond the original location, the prostate gland, into other areas, most commonly bones and lymph nodes. Biden's cancer has specifically spread to his bones, placing him among the 5 to 7% of prostate cancer cases in the United States that are metastatic at initial diagnosis. So only 5 to 7% who get this diagnosis of metastatic is on the original diagnosis, which does kind of make you wonder, like, that means 93 to 95% are discovered way before this point. So, like, how does the president who gets regularly checkups, how is he in the 5 to 7%? That seems unlikely. The percentage seems small. It represents a significant number given that over 300,000 men in the US and approximately 1.5 million worldwide are diagnosed with prostate cancer. Early stage prostate cancer carries an excellent prognosis with nearly 100% survival rate. However, when prostate cancer is metastatic at diagnosis, the 5-year survival rate drops sharply to around 37%. Yeah, so it doesn't look good, obviously. And the thing that's really concerning is, given the fact they clearly hid his cognitive decline from everybody, how could you possibly believe anything they have to say about this? Like, I just don't see a world where they didn't know he had cancer. It just seems unlikely to me personally.
It is strange that they didn't know before.
I'm not saying it's impossible, like they missed it, but I just can't see somebody getting that level of healthcare on such a regular basis.
How often are you supposed to get a prostate exam? Is it every year?
I don't know. I know I think at 40 I'm supposed to get one, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's just a general rule of thumb, right?
I have no idea.
When should you get a prostate? I bet this is like very Googled right now. The American Cancer Society recommends that men at average risk of prostate cancer begin prostate cancer screening at 50. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, men at higher risk start screening at 45. Frequency every 2 to 3 years. Men at higher risk should get one annually. So men at higher risk start at 45, get one yearly. Men at average risk start at 50, get one every 2 or 3 years. Presidents of the United States who are 80, you just discover it at some point when he has trouble peeing, apparently. I don't know. To me, that's highly unlikely. Maybe I'm a skeptic, but maybe they made me a skeptic, because for years they clearly lied to our face and said that he did not have cognitive decline. And then they pretended that they all discovered it during the debate against Donald Trump, which was just wild to me. There's no way they didn't see it coming. And a bunch of people have come out now and said that oh, yeah, well, we knew. Well, where were you when you knew? Like, Jake Tapper is wrote a book about it, released it to the public, like lambasting all these people who were lying about it when he was on media. Like, do these people forget they have cameras? Like, he was on live TV telling everybody night in and night out that you're a conspiracy theorist if you think Joe Biden has cognitive decline, denies it, and then writes a book about it years later. It's like it's the craziest, it's the ballsiest move, honestly. It's crazy to me that you would just, for years, pretend he doesn't have it, mock people who said he does have it, and then write a book about it like nothing ever happened. Like, you can't let those people off the hook. You can't let them forget that. I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe nobody knew. Honestly, I think they used his physical health and his mental health against him, because, you know, if we believe in a world of elites and the president being a puppet to elites, then what a better person than somebody with mental and physical decline that you at any moment can say, oh, died of cancer. Oh, yep, nope, no. They used the story about the auto pen came out recently, that in his last few years in his last year of presidency, or a few years of presidency, that they were using an auto pen to sign executive orders. He wasn't even physically signing them himself. Like, how can you possibly count that as a legal document? Like, I don't think you could get away with that in other scenarios. You can't have.
I don't know.
Like, how does that work? Unless you can prove that he authorized it somehow. It's not his signature. There was no witness to him doing it. So how can, like, Donald Trump day one had a live ceremony. There were people in front of him, and he's signing executive orders in front of other people. And then we find out Joe Biden's using auto pen. Like, how do I know it's Joe Biden authorizing it? If it's set to auto pen, if just the computer is doing it when somebody hits the button, like, that's not a legal executive order. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions that should come from this. James O'Keefe. We've been watching some of these videos, and he has one now where he enters a temple. Apparently, there's a temple on Epstein Island. I don't know what the hell he used it for. Like, what would you use?
Sacrifices.
Oh, that's fucking dark. Really? That'd be crazy.
Maybe some rituals.
Oh man,
what the hell else would you use it for?
I don't know what the fuck you'd use a temple for. I don't have my own island with a temple.
If you did, it would be because you were an elite and you were using it for sacrifices and rituals.
Oh, that'd be fucking weird. Hold on, let's watch the video.
Have you ever wondered what it was like inside of that mysterious blue and white striped building known as the Temple on Jeffrey Epstein's private island in the Virgin Islands? Now, we've obtained footage, video, and images inside this building, and we're going to give it to you
His initials.
so that you can help us solve the mystery of this bizarre structure. Sources have come to OMG inspired by our reports.
Do they go inside?
The British royal family.
Or do they not go inside?
And have given us footage of inside this building shortly after Jeffrey Epstein's arrest. Now, that footage inside the temple is live right now on our website.
No, don't do that.
MediaGroup.com.
Come on.
Subscribe now and join our investigation.
No, don't
Help
play
us
this. Don't play this
unravel
game.
this mystery.
Well, I already solved it for you.
That's fucked up. Come on, James O'Keefe. You know better than that.
But it didn't say they saw it themselves; that they were given footage.
Sure, yeah, that's kind of their. All right, you win, James O'Keefe. I'm on your website. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted, James?
I don't know if everyone that watches you realizes that, like, I am not like you. I have nothing to do with politics. I don't care about any of it. I don't want to know about any of it. My daily job brings enough drama into my life that I just don't have the capacity when I get home to worry about what's going on in the world, which sounds awful. I know, for what it's worth. I have no idea who this person is that you're talking about.
James O'Keefe?
Yeah.
He's an investigative journalist. He started...
Is he legit?
Yeah.
Okay.
He started Project Veritas, and they uncovered a shitload of stories. And then somehow, it's blurry, but he got ousted from Project Veritas, even though I'm quite sure he started it. So big fuck you. He started O'Keefe Media Group. That's what his big thing is now. But yeah, he's a legit investigative journalist. He doesn't just put out like TMZ pieces where it's like, oh, look at this picture of, like, it's none of that shit. It's like, there's a lot that goes into his stories. Now he's released a couple different videos already. There was one inside of Epstein's house, the kitchen. There was a bedroom one, which was kind of weird because on the phone they had like a bunch of the speed dial contacts and they were trying to break down who some of these people were. And he doesn't like lie, like the numbers on the speed dial. He's like, we know this is this person, but we don't really know who this person is. Some of them had some weird contact names. Like one was Juggly or something. Just weird shit. The kitchen had a picture of a naked baby, like holding a very sketchily shaped object, like just proudly displayed in the kitchen. Just really weird shit. But I don't know, the idea of the Epstein temple. I didn't know there was a temple on there. I mean, we watched the whole Netflix documentary about the Epstein thing. Did you remember anything about a temple on Epstein Island?
No, but they didn't really show. They didn't go around the island, you know? It was more like
they mentioned it. Like, oh, he had an island and he got massages,
and
but they didn't do
like,
much.
Overview pictures or whatever, like, this is what it looks like, and this is it from the air, and like...
They kind of showed more about, like, his Florida house, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's some New York City pad he had.
But no, they didn't go in depth with, like, what was on the island or anything.
Which is weird, because, like, that sounds worth noting.
Kind of.
Like, oh, this fucking guy... Yeah, yes, he has his own island. He's a rich dude. He has his own island. I get it. But also on that island is a house that's bugged with cameras and microphones and recordings and all types of shit. Okay, super weird. If he was a creepy pedophile guy, he's not going to be recording it with cameras. So like nobody says the obvious, which is this dude was clearly used to frame and blackmail other people.
Yeah.
Like a pedophile is not going to self-record him being a pedophile.
Well, he might.
With other random rich famous people. Like I don't to go back and look at it. Like I just don't.
Yeah. I think he used it for blackmail? Oh yes, obviously. Like
yeah, I just don't think he was like, ooh, I'm gonna watch this later. Like I don't know.
Were there outside
maybe,
players?
but
I don't know.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't believe Epstein was simply just a pedophile.
I don't either.
And here's that wouldn't even be a story, because I hate to say it, but like there's lots of pedophiles and it's gross and it's disgusting, but like you don't have big front page news about it every time there's a pedophile. The reason it was a story is because all of first of all, the size and scale of the operation, but the fact that there were other rich, famous, powerful people, fucking a prince for one, all the political figures that were, I'm supposed to say alleged, I guess, alleged to be there. You know, Jeffrey Epstein has in his foyer, I believe, of the Epstein mansion, or it was in like his New York City apartment or something, but there's a painting of Bill Clinton in the blue dress that Monica Lewinsky was wearing. It's just a lot of weird shit. And I think that's what made it a story. It's the size of the scale of the operation, all the famous people and the rich people that were tied into this, just the weirdness that surrounds it. But then to never mention the fact that on his island, there was a big giant temple. Like, what the fuck are you doing in a giant temple?
I wonder what they were doing in there.
They could be doing, massages and shit in a regular house. Like, you don't need to build a temple for that. Like, there's a
blood sacrifice.
There's a lot more that goes into this. Kevin was on the show and we did the episode about adrenochrome, and it was so much information that we split it into 2 episodes, and I literally felt sick after the first episode just talking about it. I don't know if you know anything about adrenochrome.
No.
I don't even want to get into it. So adrenochrome is, if I remember correctly, the theory is rich, powerful elites, shadowy puppet figures, right? All these, puppet masters and all the behind the scenes stuff that everyone talks about. They take the blood of like the innocents and they drink it because of some medicinal properties that
Beyonce and Jay-Z, do they tie into that? Because I have heard
oh my god, so many people celebrities were tied into this adrenochrome thing. But the thing that's fucked up is, from what I remember Kevin talking about, is the adrenochrome, the effects would amplify if the subject's blood was like spiked in some type of traumatic or stressful event. Like the effects of the blood were supposed to be magnified. So then it got into like people torturing like children and like raping people to magnify the effects of the blood when they took it. Just really creepy stuff. And Kevin like is a fucking, I wish I had that guy's memory, because he was like referencing books without the books in front of him, and he like knew what page and what chapter. The fucking guy is wild. But it was just gross, because after one episode of like reading about what these people were doing, if there was even a kernel of truth in any of it, it was too far. It was gross. It really like was fucked up. But I don't know. What are you doing with a temple though? You're not going there to just have sex in the temple. Like, oh, let's go have sex in the temple. Like, no, that's not what's happening there.
What do you think they were doing there?
It's fucking weird. We read a lot of weird stuff about celebrities over the years. I don't know, like the weird rictuals where they pretend to eat people, but I just weird shit over and over again. We talked about Pizzagate. Oh, it's a conspiracy. It's been debunked. No. I mean, we're supposed to believe the media, the same media that told you that Joe Biden was perfectly fine. No, he doesn't have cognitive decline. You're making fun of his stutter. Fuck off. Like, that's the kind of shit we're supposed to believe. And then when Pizzagate comes out and we have all types of emails and documented files, oh, ignore those, you're a conspiracy theorist. Okay, I don't know. Here's an idea. Do your job. I don't understand why people, like, what is the point? Like, if you're a CNN watcher, MSNBC or Fox News, I don't care. Throw them all in the same place. Like, what do you think you're getting from them? Like, what is the information? Is it the scrubbed, filtered information that you crave? Like, I don't understand personally what. I don't know. And then everything that's contrary to what the mainstream media says is then dubbed a conspiracy theory. And like, there's just no way to get real truth out of that. There had something else about Epstein though, which I thought personally is amazing. So, Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. Now, Dan Bongino had a very popular show here on Rumble, and he seemed to be the real deal. He was running around saying all the right things. But listen to Dan Bongino, and Kash Patel's the same way. He didn't have a show on Rumble, but he was the same way. They were all running around saying Epstein didn't kill himself when it happened. Epstein didn't kill himself. By the way, day one, we're releasing the Epstein files. That never happened. Now here they are being asked about Epstein again now that they're in their cushy FBI job.
You said Jeffrey Epstein.
Nope. Where'd it go? Come on, come back.
Committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work. You said Jeffrey.
I've seen the whole file, is what he said. I've seen the whole file. I don't know. We talked about the Epstein thing, and there's so much behind it that makes me think there's no chance in hell that he killed himself. We talked about when it happened live. Ryan and myself went over it. And a couple of things. One, the fact that he was on suicide watch and then taken off of suicide watch before it happened, slightly suspicious. The fact that the CCTV cameras failed the night it happened, kind of suspicious. The fact that they did an autopsy and found that, if I remember correctly, and it was forever ago, but they did not take strangulation off the table, if I remember correctly. Not strangulation from a noose or a sheet, by the way. But with the way the bruising was on the neck and stuff, I could pull it all back up. The other thing that was really, to me, the no-brainer is that they said he hung himself from a bunk bed with a bed sheet. I don't know. I've never been in the prison. That would have to be a pretty fucking tall bunk bed for an adult male who is an average. I think he was above average height to hang himself with a bed sheet. There's all of those things combined. I don't care what you saw in the file. I don't believe it. And all these people before they went to the FBI didn't believe it either. Now all of a sudden they're right on board. And it almost makes you wonder, like, if there's no way you can change anything in the system if the system is that deep. If you send people to the FBI and they're telling everyone they're going to clean house, they're telling everyone day one you're getting Epstein files, and if they go to the FBI and you get none of it, you know some shit's going on behind the scenes. And it makes you wonder to what extent it's happening behind the scenes. I mean, how far does it go? Is it threats of violence against your family? Like, what would it take? It's not the money. I can tell you that right now. With the right people, it is not the money that's going to convince you otherwise. So I don't know to what degree or what extent people will go to keep people silent, but I guarantee it's far. And who knows who's behind all this Epstein stuff. But the idea that someone like myself, for example, there's no way that I would go there and just be like, yep, saw the file, Epstein killed himself. I believe everything the FBI says now. There's no chance. And Dan Bongino, at least, didn't seem like that kind of person either. So I'm really curious to what extent people will go behind the scenes to cover this up. You gotta think that's pretty far. I mean, it's gotta be lives on the line. I don't know. I don't know if I don't trust this for a second. I don't care. I really don't care who you send there. If you have somebody who goes in with that state of mind that they're going to clean house, they're going to completely shake up the FBI. And a few months in, they're like, nope, Epstein definitely killed himself. Nothing to see here. By the way, business as usual. Epstein files day one. Well, we're really going through it. There's tens of thousand hours. What did she say? The tens of thousands of hours of stuff we got to sort through. You've been sorting through it for years. You've released nothing. This is a cover up on such a large scale, and it's so fucking obvious. But don't worry, I'm sure CNN they'll get you the news. They'll make sure they tell you exactly how a prostate exam is done on their website if that's what you're looking for.
I don't know why more people are concerned by the fact that pedophiles are literally taking over the world. It's an everyday thing that I see with kids every day. And the fact that nothing happens, and the main goal is well, we gotta reunify them with their parents. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's extreme.
I mean, this is small scale, just community, local community stuff. Imagine how much bigger it gets. If they cover up for local pedophiles doing this shit, obviously they're gonna cover up for freaking famous people that are doing shit.
If you don't think they're gonna cover up for the prince, potentially presidents and former presidents of the United States, Congress members, former Congress members, maybe current Congress members. You don't think they're going to cover up for rich CEOs of multinational, multi-$100 billion a year companies? We're talking about the top people by any measure. You don't think they're gonna cover up for those people? You think they're just going to be open and honest? Oh, yeah, by the way, Epstein was a pedophile, but don't worry. Not only was he a pedophile, we, the government, used him to blackmail rich and powerful people so we could get our way. This needs to be the biggest thing going on right now.
I can guarantee you, the average person has no idea.
I would be curious what the average person thinks of Epstein, because I guarantee it's something along those lines. Oh, that was that pedophile guy who had an island. Yeah, but what about all the other stuff? What about, was it Prince Andrew? I'm trying to remember. I think it was Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew, who, by the way, was on camera talking to someone underaged.
No, you never met her.
And then he gets asked about it from the BBC or some British media, and he's like, nope, don't know who that is. She shows him the picture in the video, oh, this is you with her, right? And he's like, nope. What is that? What is that? And why is that completely acceptable? People, without trying to incite violence or riots, but people should be way more fucking upset about this. They seem very nonchalant. They seem about... It's a very meme culture thing. I get it, and I'm part of that. I know, I understand, but people are not actually angry about this. This is craziness. We're talking about the worst people, the worst among us, who are supposed to be the best among us. And no one seems mad. Everyone will make jokes about it. Fine, I get it. But at some point, Prince Andrew, I'm knocking on your door. Where is the crowd with the fire in the like? Where's the old school riot crowd? I want pitchforks. This is crazy. Underage. Does everyone remember the U.S. Olympic doctor? And he was like molesting all of like the gymnasts and stuff, all the U.S. Olympic team members. That was merely a news story. Like, people were irreversibly damaged for life. Lots of people. I think it was like well over 100 girls, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Completely traumatized for life. And it was a headline. This is fucking madness. Epstein was molesting little girls, underage, teenage girls. And maybe, who knows? That's what we know of. Maybe it was less than that. Were they 8 and 9-year-old girls? How far did it go? He has a temple. What in the fuck was going on in a temple? Because it wasn't consensual sex with adults. I can tell you that. Who was in the temple? How come no one's mentioned the temple? Merely headlines. This is craziness. I don't know what it takes to get people upset anymore. Like, this is fucking crazy to me. Here's I thought this was interesting.
DC, Florida.
Let me add one more thing, Pat. One of the top FBI international leaders confirmed to me in writing that 2 of the terrorists in the 9/11 attack were on the payroll of the CIA at the time.
Yeah.
I'll repeat that again. 2 of the terrorists on 9/11 were on the CIA payroll at the time. And after 9/11, there were between 40 and 50 employees that were reprimanded. Why has none of that been told to the American people? Why was none of that investigated by the 9/11 Commission? Why is this cover-up occurring when all of these, the biggest loss of life in American history on our soil? And it's like we're a bunch of 5th graders. It's outrageous.
Has it been documented that they were on payroll? Like, because I know the internet is going to say no. There's no evidence that the claim that the terrorists were on CIA payroll. While it's true that CIA had information on 2 of the hijackers, Nafal al-Hazimi and Khalid al-Mihar, before the attacks.
They found his license out of a burning
criticism
plane.
of how the CIA handled information, but there's no indication that they were
What do you think the CIA
just the license
tell that on the record without some congressional investigation? I mean, cut me a break.
Let me add something to the picture that I can't talk about in detail yet. There's 3 things I'm trying to get declassified by the Pentagon right now. My specific role, enable danger, relating to what we're talking about. I still can't talk about it, believe it or not. The other thing is there's an investigative organization that's run by DOD that has found the link you're talking about here to the CIA guys. And I'll let them speak for themselves. But they're working right now to get approval to come public on what they have. And I've talked to their senior investigator, and he has said they have confirmed the link between Al-Mihdhar and his whatever his name, I'm terrible with names, to the CIA.
The only solution is a presidential commission to investigate everything about 9/11. And on that commission, no politicians, no members of Congress. Yeah. It's got to be people with integrity who are willing to take it to wherever it goes, because we're only scratching the surface.
So let me tell you what I did, because again, I want to know, when you think about stories like this,
dogfight,
you go and the stuff that we know. What do we know? We hear the story about Larry Silverstein, right? We've all heard the story about the fact that he buys a massive insurance policy that in case 2 planes or attack the plane, he gets 2 times the amount of whatever it is, and then he gets $3.5 billion. And the day that he always has breakfast on the World Trade Center, he doesn't end up having breakfast that day. And how much money paid out to him when you pull up the number? It's public info. You can pull up
$5 billion, I think.
I saw 4.55 billion. So Larry Silverstein leased the World Trade Center just 6 weeks before 9/11, received a $4.55 billion insurance payout following the destruction of the World Trade Center.
And added a clause for terrorism in the insurance policy.
Yeah, insurance dispute 9/11 service argued that the 2 planes impact constituted 2 separate terrorist attacks, thus seeking doubling the policy limits. Court won the battle. The legal battle over whether the tax counted on 1 or 2 occurrences lasted years. In 2004, a jury ruled that some insurers had to pay double, while others just paid 1. Final payout, $4.55 billion.
Yeah.
That we know.
Huge money.
That's strange. Okay.
That doesn't include building 7 either.
That doesn't include building 7. The other thing that's strange is you talk about George Bush. You know, Epstein, when they go to his house, there's 2 paintings that they see there, right? The painting is the one with Bill Clinton in that blue dress, which is Monica Lewinsky's dress, saying, I got you, or something like that. Then the other painting they see is, Rob, if you can go to the other one, which is kind of weird, is this Bush one with President Bush right there. He's playing Jenga, and they're down, and he's holding one plane, and the other one is already down. That's a weird painting. Who would have a painting like that in their house? That's a very strange painting, right?
I think it's a clue.
No, he's just a pedophile. Just a pedophile who has a temple on his fucking island. Just did it alone, too. Just went to his own island. Went to his temple and hung out. Like, that's all he did. Fucking crazy. I never heard that before either. I didn't know about the insurance payout. That's fucking wild. That's
today, I don't think I'm going to have breakfast here.
No, not today. Today seems like a bad day to have a breakfast in this building. That sounds suspicious. It's like the first thing, like if you have a house fire and you pull like your valuables out of the house and they just, or like your dogs, like, oh, I happened to take my dogs with me that day. It's like, they're automatically suspicious. Like, no, the fuck you didn't.
Yeah.
That's like one of the easy tells of like, this is clearly arson. Like you pulled out your own valuables of your own house. Like the things that meant, oh, I took my family portrait out for a walk. It's like, fuck you, arson. You lit your own fucking house on fire. This guy takes out a fucking convenient insurance policy where he has to add terrorism to the policy. And then at the building that gets hit with the plane that he always goes to every day, he's like, not that day. I'm not going there that day. I have a busy thing to handle somewhere else. Oh, the plane got hit. Oh, the towers got hit with the plane. You get your insurance payout that you just added a couple months ago. Like it was, what did they say? It was within 6 months he leased the building and then he took out the insurance policy. Like that, again, that's a tell. That's a tell. If you take out an insurance policy on your spouse and you kill her, you're suspect number 1, guaranteed. They're looking into you. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I better take out some extra terrorism insurance. They're like, really? That seems like a weird strategy. Like, we haven't had domestic terrorism here for quite some time. No, just in case planes hit it. Excuse me? That's fine. Just, I don't know. I say it all the time, but like, people need to trust your senses a little bit. Like, that's fucking crazy. Absolute madness. I don't know. That's fucking madness. Lastly, and this will be quick, but I just feel like it's worth noting. Ashli Babbitt, for those who don't know, her family is going to get a $5 million settlement. Now, Ashli Babbitt. So, okay, here's Ashli Babbitt. On January 6th, okay, the big riots that happened at the Capitol. Okay. First of all, most people, if not all people, on January 6th were unarmed citizens of the United States, just to be clear. So if you were trying to overthrow the government in the most armed society of the entire history of the world, I suspect you would have some firearms.
Yeah.
Like if the whole point was, we're overthrowing our government and we're uprooting democracy, the most armed civilization of all time would probably be armed for that. So to me, that's clue number 1 that that's not what was happening on January 6th. With that said, given the fact everyone tried to declare this like the worst atrocity since 9/11, the thing that was super ironic is that the only person who died on January 6th was a protester. Her name was Ashli Babbitt. Ashli Babbitt was an unarmed citizen at the protest who was climbing a wall or something, and she was shot by one of the Capitol officers. Only person who died on January 6th was a protester. Now, her family is being awarded $5 million for wrongful death, I would presume, because, well, she was unarmed, she wasn't threatening anybody, and she was shot. Should she have been there potentially trespassing and climbing a wall? No. Is that a guaranteed death sentence in most cases? Not really. Typically, you'd get a trespassing, maybe a fine, maybe some probation, maybe jail time of a very small amount, not locked away for years without trial like most of these people on January 6th. So yes, that is in my opinion, well-deserved $5 million to her family. It's literally the least the United States can do to try to make up for what they did, because they killed their daughter. I don't know if she was a mother, but mother, sister, brother, whatever. Like, her family lost part of their family. And it was really, quite frankly, it was to make a statement. So $5 million, it's the least they can do. If it was in any other context or scenario, if she was a black woman shot by a white police officer at a traffic stop, it would be riots in the streets. But since she was an unarmed supporter of Donald Trump, it was viewed as the right thing to do. So luckily now her family at least gets something out of it. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's making a big deal out of it though, because God forbid that her family gets restitution for her wrongful death. I don't know. But again, if January 6th was supposed to be to overthrow the government, they fucking did it wrong for sure. And quite frankly, I don't know why everyone's worried about it. Nobody's going to overthrow the government. It's not happening. If we're not knocking on pedophiles' doors with pitchforks and flames, then we're not going to overthrow the government because we don't like the president. It's just not going to happen. Let's live in reality. Understand that quite frankly, people don't care. It doesn't seem like people care anymore.
Yeah. No.
It's fucking wild. The Revolutionary War would never happen in this generation. 0% chance. They'd just be like,
maybe next week.
Yeah, we're overruled. We're overruled by tyrants, but like, Netflix is cool.
Hit me up again next week.
Yeah, I got Hulu. I can stream shit on fucking YouTube. Like, such a completely just devastated culture. It's crazy. Nobody cares. They're fucking your kids. Like, everyone, your kids are being molested by rich, powerful elitists, and they have gross codes for it. Talk about fucking slices of pizza and shit. Then it's deemed a conspiracy by the media. We're all looked at as just crackpot conspiracy theorists. And then you go home and you watch Netflix. What the fuck? What is wrong with everyone? What are you doing? That's fucking wild.
I think that everyone is just used to it being this way. I don't know. Like, think about it. I'm kind of guilty of that. I focus more on local within the community. I don't fucking know what's going on in California. I don't really care what's going on in California.
Yeah, but in some way, like, being focused on your most local community, that's how you would make a change. Like, if everyone focused on their own individual's local community, you would make the change from the ground up. So,
but that's not how it works. Everyone's too focused on hating each other.
But can we agree this is like, I always say this about some of our foreign policy. Like, to me, the most agreed upon thing in politics should be that the taxpayers' money should be withheld within the borders of our country. Like, that should be the most agreeable thing. Like, your tax money should not go to giving Ukraine money or Israel money or Saudi Arabia money or Russia money or China money or any country that we're just handing out billions of dollars to.
Meanwhile, there's bridges collapsing in Pittsburgh.
How is that not? We have homeless people. We have people who can't afford their bills. We have people who don't have health insurance. We have people, and I get it. I'm not like a big proponent of government paying for people's health insurance or paying for people's colleges, but like, isn't it the most agreeable thing that if you're going to spend tax money, at least keep it within our borders? Like, how does anybody argue against that? And if we're taking that to what we're talking about right now, like, the most agreeable thing is that pedophiles are bad, and that something needs to happen. There's no way and you hear these arguments about, have you heard the term MAPS? I'm curious how the average person, like how much people not consumed by politics, if they know what any of this shit means. Is that where
it's like okay to be a pedophile?
Yes. It is a
I can't remember what it stands for.
Minor attracted persons.
Yeah.
Minor attracted persons. And then they try to lump it into the LGBTQAIIP plus whatever fuck it is now community.
And the sane one said no.
Well, that's the thing. And you know what's interesting too? A lot of what I've seen, a lot of just like gay and lesbian people just want to be gay and lesbian people and be left alone. And that's I get it. Perfectly acceptable. Love it. That's fine. And you get the people who are like in your face trans people who like clearly are doing things to try to like fire people up. And I think you see the normal like gay and lesbian people like, no, we don't want any part of that. And then you have MAPS come out. And I've never in my life, and I probably never will, met a gay or lesbian person who's like, yep, pedophiles, A-okay with me. It's a completely different conversation when you're talking about, what consenting adults do with each other and what adults do to children. That's a completely different conversation. And if you can think of one thing that is more agreeable in life that we should be anti-pedophile, let me know.
People have become jaded to it. We don't do anything except slap them on the wrist, take them back out in the freaking square, show the public what you'll actually do to them, and then see what happens. But I think that's part of it, is like, we're being conditioned. Look at the shit we watch on TV and tell me that we're not being conditioned to accept that type of stuff. Like, we're starting kids younger. I mean, they have like sexual shit in kids shows. They did when we were kids too, but like, it's different now.
Yeah, but to some degree, like this, like in cartoons when we were growing up, we grew up in slightly different times, but not that different. There was like,
talk about pedophiles.
There was subtle like hints that adults would get, but like children clearly,
it would go right over our heads.
Right, children clearly would have never picked up on. Okay, there's like that, and then like what they do now, which is like in your face shit that like everyone understands.
Yes.
So like a great example of this, like Johnny Bravo. Like a lot of really subtle stuff that now as adults, like if you were to watch that, you'd be like, holy shit.
But as a kid, you were like,
he
just wants a girlfriend.
Yeah, like you would have never picked up on it. Very different what they do now. But it happens slowly over time. Like you were talking about like being desensitized. Mm-hmm. Like that is a active plan. Like they don't, it's not accidental that people are more desensitized. These people are trying to be as out in the open as possible so they don't have to hide it anymore. And the way to do that is to desensitize everyone to everything.
And I would say that they're pretty successful in doing that. I mean, how many times do you pull up the news and you see a headline of a pedophile getting any amount of jail time? You don't. You really don't. It's not news.
The only thing that I can say on this pedophile stuff, there are people who have made like kind of like and you kind of saw this was mainstream and then it became like something that like private small creators did, but like this was mainstream with like Chris Hansen, right? Where he was like, what was that show called? It was To Catch a Predator. To Catch a Predator, which was such a great show because like
public shame them.
Exactly. He would catch these people like dead to rights. Oh, here, take a seat. Why don't you sit down real quick? And he would like completely show all the evidence on camera. You're on camera. And then it was like, why did you bring a bunch of condoms to a 12-year-old girl's house? Oh, I was just gonna teach her how to put them on a banana. Like they would have like these stupid fucking excuses. It's like, no, you weren't. Here's what your, phone calls and your text and message exchanges and stuff. That was like the perfect way to handle pedophiles. And there's people who have social media accounts who do this kind of thing. Like there's YouTubers and people on Rumble and people on X who have like this who do a great job doing exactly the same thing. And that's great. But it's almost not big enough. Like,
right.
We kind of need Chris Hansen back, to be honest with you, because there's still like a subset of culture that lives on like the old school news, the old school like TV. They watch their ABC channel or whatever the fuck bullshit shows they come out with. I personally think all those shows are ass, but like you could cancel all of CNN and just put Chris Hansen on there catching predators all day. You want to fix CNN? That's how you do it. We never told the news. We're never going to start telling the news. Let's stop pretending. And here at CNN, now what we're going to do is we're going to put Chris Hansen on air and we're just going to catch pedophiles all fucking day long. I could fix CNN right now today with that strategy. I guarantee you people would be all about it. Like, oh, you got to go to CNN. Chris Hansen's back. Like that would be so much better than the shit they do now, which is pretend they're telling you the news, hide it for 4 years, and then write a book telling everybody how shameful it was that nobody reported the news, as if they weren't complicit in not reporting the fucking news. Jake Tapper, what a fucking embarrassment. And that's all CNN is ever going to be. That's all MSNBC is ever going to be. That's all Fox News is ever going to be. They're going to pretend to tell the news to their base of individuals, whoever that group is. If you're CNN, it's empty seats at an airport. I've seen it. I've been there. If you're Fox News, it's like the 80-year-old people who get their like diabetes medicine from Wilford Brimley. Like these are the customers of Fox News. There's a reason that all these big pharma companies, they all advertise on Fox News and CNN. That's where all their money comes from, because nobody actually wants to actively watch it except that subset of Americans. And that's fine. Like those people are going to have their place. But we saw what happened when CNN Plus went live. It shut down because it was just an abysmal failure, because people who are searching for that kind of news, who are going to like social media for their news, for these outlets, these platforms like YouTube and Rumble, they're not going to watch CNN. If they're going to watch CNN, they're going to buy cable news and watch CNN. So that was doomed for failure. But the reason they don't is because these people don't report the news. And that's why we have the wild headlines about Joe Biden's prostate thing, like mixed with 3 other headlines and nobody talking about the actual news, which is they covered up the fact that Joe Biden had prostate cancer. They covered up the fact that Joe Biden had cognitive decline during his presidency. They skipped the primaries of the Democratic Party primaries. They skipped the democratic process, said, oops, Biden's cognitive decline is too bad. Here's Kamala Harris. She's your nominee. And then they wondered why she lost. That's it. That's all. These people, you just can't let everybody get away with this. I mean, corporate media is run by big pharma, pedophiles. I'm just gonna say, like, all these people are all tied together. And I don't know, protect your children. And
yep, that's the biggest thing. Protect your children.
Jesus Christ, pay attention.
Pay attention. Yes, yourself, your neighbors, your community, the kids, all of the kids. Pay attention.
That's it.
That was a good ending, I think. I don't know. I just wish more people would do that. I'm not where I'm at because, I'm turning a blind eye, but it's hard to make a difference when there's one of you and 50 of them.
And if anything you take from the show, it's that it's hard to buy a bathing suit when you're a girl. That's most important. I think most important thing we learned today. Unless you're a slut, and then it's very easy to buy a bathing suit.
No, the most important thing is take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, take care of your community. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't turn a blind eye. And don't be afraid to speak out.
Yep. And watch The Weekly Show live, daily.
I don't really know how Ryan ends this.
That's how Ryan, he does.
He's always like, yeah, David, and I appreciate you most for your time. I'll see everyone tomorrow.
We do appreciate you for your time. Because you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere and watch. You can go to CNN if you want. Like right now, you could go flip to CNN and you're not.
Sometimes I do. During the day, every once in a while, if I feel like I need to catch up with the headlines, because again, me and you, complete opposites. I could not give a fuck less. When I get home from work and I take my bra off, I'm out. I tap out from the world. Should I? No. Do I? Yes. Because I just really don't have the mental capacity to deal with it when I get home. But you could go anywhere, and sometimes I do, and I'll look at the headlines, and most of the time it's the same shit, different day. Donald Trump said this. Joe Biden did that.
Which is, I think, to some degree, and we do obviously get into politics on the show. Obviously, it's a political show. I get it. But we are more tied into the cultural side of politics, because I think it's more important than the politics themselves. The politics themselves are a result of the culture.
Politics piss me off because just do what's in everyone's best interest.
But see, sometimes those are conflicting.
Nope. Just do what's in everyone's best interest. Again, it boils down to take care of yourself, take care of your neighbors, take care of your kids, take care of your community.
Well, that's what's more important.
That's it. That's what we need to do. And it's really frustrating for me, as someone who really doesn't care about this stuff, to see how they blatantly try to pin each side against the other side, but each side is they don't do that, our side's the best side. No, really, it's not. They really don't care about you. Not one of these politicians, not one of these celebrities, not one of these higher up elites.
I would say on the politician front, I can count on one hand, but I can at least count a couple who might legitimately care. I could play you some for example, Thomas Massie. You don't know who that is, but
no idea.
He is one of 5 or less people in Congress that I legitimately think care.
But so now I can end it like Ryan. But you know who does care?
Oh,
Me and David.
Oh shit!
From Rumble, catch us on Rumble every day.
Oh,
and David,
God.
I appreciate you most for your time. Until next time, everyone. I think that's what I don't really know what
fuck,
he says.
Ryan! Excuse whatever that was.
Was I close?
No.
What does he say? What does he usually say?
Not that.
What? Yes, he
Not
does.
that.
He always ties it in with whatever the heck you're talking about.
He'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a better outro tomorrow. I handled the intro. I got the whole show done.
I just did it.
Yeah, no.
You know who does care? Me and David. In Rumble, the greatest podcast on earth. Catch us on Rumble Monday through Friday. And as always, David, I appreciate you most for your time.
We're leaving.